The UFC landscape is teetering on the edge of chaos, and every new rumor seems to ignite fresh controversies. Today, we're diving into the most explosive rumors and backstage whispers rocking the fight world. No one's position is more fascinating right now than Islam Makhachev. After his statement win at lightweight, the champion's camp has hinted he might jump to welterweight under one condition: if Belal Muhammad fails to stop the rise of Jack Della Maddalena. Reports from insiders, including noted MMA commentator Ariel Helwani, suggest that if Belal loses, it could pave the way for Islam to pursue a second belt. This would leave the 155-pound throne wide open, prompting a scramble among contenders like Charles Oliveira, Gaethje, Arman Tsarukyan, and anyone else with a claim to the lightweight spotlight. On the flip side, if Belal wins, Makhachev may have to stay put and defend at 155. Either scenario sends shockwaves through the division because no one wants to watch the belt sit idle. Whispers from Oliveira's camp indicate they're tired of waiting on Makhachev's decision, but the possibility of an interim champion could be on the table. Some see Makhachev's potential move as an effort to catch bigger paydays, while others think it's a pure legacy play. One thing is certain: his next step, whether at lightweight or welterweight, will create seismic shifts in both divisions. When talk turns to the 155-pound scene, it's impossible to ignore Charles Oliveira. He's itching to reclaim the title he lost, and his team has been vocal about wanting a massive fight during International Fight Week. While Islam Makhachev looms overhead, Oliveira's coach, Diego Lima, sees at least 2 fights for Charles this year, ideally with big-name opponents like Gaethje or Dustin Poirier if the belt isn't up for grabs immediately. All parties are circling, waiting for that final call on whether Makhachev stays or goes. Meanwhile, Arman Tsarukyan is stirring the pot by calling out whoever claims to be the #1 contender. He made waves by suggesting Gaethje is undeserving of an immediate title shot after a narrow win over a lower-ranked fighter. Gaethje, however, has his own issues. A toe injury from his recent brawl could keep him shelved just long enough for Tsarukyan or another hungry contender to slide into the conversation. If Makhachev vacates, it could all come down to Oliveira's star power versus a rising wave of contenders. One thing's for sure: the entire lightweight division is on notice and ready to pounce on any belt vacancies. Few matchups have sparked as much debate lately as Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. Ankalaev walked away with the decision, but Glover Teixeira, Pereira's mentor, insists his fighter deserved the nod. He believes the judging overlooked Pereira's striking dominance, pointing out that certain exchanges showed a clear edge for the former champion. For his part, Pereira isn't dwelling on the loss. He's already talking about a rematch where he intends to return as Poatan 2.0. Ankalaev, on the other hand, wants to prove his victory was no fluke. He's been vocal on social media, offering to run it back, but also insisting he can handle Pereira's power. The matchup's sudden drama has reignited talk of questionable scoring in title fights, drawing fans into fierce debates online. Some argue that Ankalaev's wrestling attempts, even if not always successful, dictated the pace. Others say Pereira scored cleanly in crucial moments. With an immediate rematch rumored, the light heavyweight division stands on the brink of a new rivalry that could define the rest of the year. If Pereira gets his wish, their next clash could rewrite the narrative, especially if he manages to reclaim the belt with a more ruthless version of his striking game. In the middleweight sphere, Marvin Vettori has never been shy about sharing his opinions, and Brendan Allen is his newest verbal target. Their animosity traces back to a previously scheduled bout that fell through, followed by a heated altercation outside the cage. Vettori claims Allen tried to look past him, only to fall short against another opponent. He believes Allen's hype was inflated, and that the hype train has been derailed for good. Allen, for his part, remains focused on climbing the ranks, but he's well aware that Vettori is gunning for a statement win against a fighter who's been on some fans' radar. After a decision loss in his previous outing, Vettori insists he's making the necessary adjustments to get into title contention. His camp sees a fight with Allen as a strategic stepping stone, provided it aligns with the UFC's rankings. Some fans think this rivalry might fizzle out before it ever materializes, while others see it as the perfect chance for 2 rising names to settle a grudge. Vettori's vow to become the first Italian champion hangs in the balance. He wants to beat top-level contenders, and Allen may soon be standing in his way. Beyond the title races, plenty of fighters are experiencing career crossroads. After a tough loss and an emotional Instagram announcement, Landon Quiñones parted ways with the UFC. Though he clarified it wasn't a retirement, Quiñones admitted he needed time away to regain his passion and sort out life beyond the cage. In a similar vein, Jalen Turner stunned fans by revealing he was stepping back, citing personal reasons and a desire to find new motivation. motivation. His social media post left the door cracked open for a return, but for now, the ultra-competitive lightweight race moves on without him. Not everyone's journey is winding down, though. Jeremy Stephens shocked the MMA world by returning to the UFC after a stint in bare-knuckle fighting where he picked up a notable win over Eddie Alvarez. Many fans see this as the perfect shot at redemption for Stephens, whose aggression made him a fan favorite years ago. The roster churn never ends, and each new opening beckons a wave of hungry prospects ready to stake their claim. Whether it's a break for mental clarity or a triumphant comeback, these shifts remind us just how volatile a fighter's career can be in the UFC. While certain locations like Qatar were initially targeted for fight nights, the UFC has pivoted back to the Apex for a May event. This shift lines up new bouts, including Johnny Walker versus Azamat Murzakanov and a rebooked collision between Curtis Blades and Rizvan. Fans hope the third time is the charm for Blades Kunyev after injury setbacks nixed earlier attempts. Meanwhile, the promotion has announced a long-awaited return to Des Moines, marking 25 years since the UFC last stepped foot there. The headliner in Iowa promises fireworks with Davison Figueiredo clashing against Corey Sandhagen, both fighters determined to bounce back from losses. Adding more intrigue, Bo Nickal is rumored to face a ranked opponent, potentially catapulting him into top 15 discussions. That alone has hardcore fans buzzing about a new wave of wrestlers capturing the spotlight. The real curveball is the shocking re-signing of Jeremy Stephens, who joins the Des Moines lineup against Mason Jones. UFC matchmakers are clearly mixing rising talent with experienced sluggers to create must-see matchups. All these changes have fans scrambling to keep up with the shifting landscapes, especially as the promotion juggles international plans and hometown revivals. The always explosive Justin Gaethje may be riding a wave of momentum from his victory over Rafael Fiziev, but victory came at a price. According to his own behind-the-scenes admissions, several of Gaethje's toes were either sprained or broken during the slugfest. He could be sidelined for 4 to 6 weeks, and that means lost time in a division where opportunities evaporate quickly. With the next title fight rumored for this summer, Gaethje needs to heal fast or risk missing his best chance to challenge Islam Makhachev, assuming Makhachev even stays at 155. If Gaethje's rehab drags into the early summer, the UFC might look elsewhere for a fresh challenger. This is where it gets messy. If Arman Tsarukyan or Charles Oliveira seizes the moment, Gaethje could find himself stuck in the logjam when he returns. While fans know Gaethje's knockout power makes him a pay-per-view draw, the lightweight picture won't pause just because he's on the mend. The tension grows every day that passes without definitive clarity, leaving Gaethje supporters hopeful he'll land a title shot the moment he's cleared to train. Until then, the highlight reel's future hangs on the health of a few battered toes. This is the kind of UFC madness that leaves fans glued to every rumor and update. Which division do you think experiences the biggest shakeup next? Like, subscribe, and comment to stay locked in on all the UFC twists and turns ahead.